Hello? 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 That's it. Thank you very much. Before we get started today, there's a couple of little things I just need to make you aware of, just so that everybody's, safe. So the first one is no fire alarms. So if we do get an alarm, you'll notice the exits around the room. You just follow that sign and out we go. So if the alarm goes off, we do need to leave. That's the only formal one. The other one is just to bring you up to speed with what's going to happen tonight. Now, traditionally when we do these graduations, because we get involved in them every year, we forget that for most people in the room, it's their first time at this event. So even if you've been to other graduations, you don't necessarily know how we do it. So just so that you're aware, what we like is we like you to have a good time, we like you to take photographs, and we like you to cheer and clap and be involved. So other than that, we don't really have any hard and fast rules. So it's all about you having a good time and enjoying it. So just to be clear, if somebody you know is up on stage and you want to stand up and take their photograph, that's fine. We think that's great. If you want to shout and whoop and holler when somebody you know comes up on stage, we think that's excellent too. Right? Oh, don't worry, we're going to have a rehearsal in a moment. Right? Love some audience participation, you know that, right? So that's roughly the rules. So we say that because I think some people can be a little bit nervous about how formal does this have to be, and it isn't. It's very much a celebration event, and we enjoy it. Now, we haven't done this awareness bit before. Today's the first day we've done it, and we have 3 ceremonies today. And what I've always noticed in the past is the first ceremony on the morning's quite quiet because it's 11 o'clock and people are still just getting used to the idea. The afternoon session is a bit livelier because the bar's been open and it's after 12 o'clock. Yeah, you know where this is going, right? By the time we get to this one, I don't think you need a lot of encouragement, right? However, we're going to try rehearsal because I think until everybody gets used to shouting and cheering, right, we don't know really what it's going to sound like. So I'm going to go down those steps, get myself ready. When I walk up and get onto the top step, I'd like you to anticipate that I am the person you're here to cheer for. I've spent the last 2 or 3 years working, yay, right, working for it, and I want to hear everybody like that, okay? Okay, so go down the stairs. When I get to the top step, off we go, right? Bear with me. Is that the best? Come on, yeah? Right, we're going to do it one more time, right? And really get everybody into the right mood, okay? So remember, 2-3 years hard work, right? Comes to an achievement today. How do you let those people know that you really appreciate the effort they've put into it, okay? So one more time. Absolutely fabulous, thank you. That's exactly what we want to hear. You have to do that 400 times, okay? No, all right. Right. But remember, for those people here tonight, this is their big moment, and the more cheers and claps they get, the more important they'll feel and valued. So I'd appreciate if you can show that for as many people as possible. Thank you, and we'll be starting very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome your class of 2019. Please welcome your aviation graduates. Please make some noise for your engineering graduates. Please welcome your science graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for your platform party.
Please be seated. Ladies, gentlemen and graduates, a warm welcome on what is a very special occasion. I'd like to extend a welcome to our guest speaker, Anne Rees, Chair of the Rees Foundation. We're very fortunate to be able to host today's ceremony here in Newcastle Civic Centre. It's not only a very grand and beautiful venue, but it's a venue filled with tributes to the North East and some of the inspirational people who've come from here. The tapestry you see to my left was designed by John Piper, an interpretation of the natural resources found in our region: coal, water, iron and slate. We have a rich industrial history thanks to these resources, and the tapestry is an imagining that if you were to slice through a sample of Northumberland rock, you'd find all the different resources of the region, the resources on which the region was built. I wonder then what a Piper tapestry would depict of our graduands and your time here at Newcastle College University Centre. It would show that you are now, through your studies and practice, brimming with the resources that our future needs. You can problem solve. You're adaptable. You can collaborate. You've shown leadership in your decision making. You are creative and innovative. There are many people who have gone on to make history who are from right here in the North East. We have in our graduands future history makers of tomorrow. To our graduands, enjoy this ceremony. When your name is called, take time to soak in the recognition of your achievement and acknowledge that when you take hold of your academic degree scroll, you become a graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, to formally open our ceremony, may I take this opportunity to invite Chris Payne, Interim Chief Executive of NCG and Head of Institution, to address you.
Ladies, gentlemen and graduates, I'm sure you'll agree that today is a momentous occasion, and I'm delighted to be able to share this special day with you. Firstly, thank you to John for that inspiring welcome. It is indeed a grand venue, steeped with history, which is fitting as you are the first cohort of students graduating from Newcastle College University Centre, which in itself is historical. Newcastle College University Centre was launched to offer a degree with a difference, where our degree students can work towards their qualifications in dedicated facilities with exceptional links to industry. I hope that our graduates sitting here today will agree with me when I say that we offer a unique experience for our degree students and aim to provide a level of support rarely found within universities. Newcastle College was the founding organisation of NCG, which has now grown to be one of the largest college groups in the country, and it remains the foundation for our group as it leads the way in moulding talented, work-ready individuals ready to make their mark on the world. Our core purpose is to unlock potential through learning, and seeing you all graduate today, it is clear it's still a worthy purpose for us all. You are all brimming with talent and potential. Our aim is for all of our colleges to be a great place to learn. It's your success which makes Newcastle College University Centre a great place to learn and develop skills that will last a lifetime. My sincere thanks to you all for your outstanding achievements. On behalf of NCG and Newcastle College University Centre, I would like to wish you all the best and every success for the future, and hope that you'll remember this day with pride. I'd now like to hand over to your principal, Tony Lewin.
Welcome again. As principal, today is one of the most exciting days in our Newcastle College University Centre calendar. And I personally find it a day to remember just how important it is that we celebrate the achievements of our graduates. I have a little confession to make. I didn't attend my graduation. And that means that I missed out on that opportunity to celebrate with my family, friends, and my peers. Unfortunately, I have the opportunity today to join in your celebration and hopefully pick up on some of that fun that I missed out on my own graduation. Now, I think I should also pass on some thanks and appreciation to my colleagues and teachers who work hard at Newcastle College University Centre to support our students to be here today. I also would like to pass on my thanks and appreciation to the parents, to the families, to the partners, for all of your efforts in supporting our students as they juggle the balance between work, college work, and perhaps family commitments too. Your commitment to them is invaluable. And to our graduands, today belongs to you. You are our successful students who have worked so hard and with such commitment. Today we all get to share in your moment and to watch you enjoy it. I think I speak on behalf of all of my colleagues when I say how proud we are of each and every individual one of you. And we are delighted to be here to share in your celebrations and hope that today is a day to remember. Make the most of the day and enjoy the ceremony. From myself and the University Centre, we would like to wish you the very best for the future. I would now like to introduce our guest speaker for today, Anne Rees, Chair of the Rees Foundation. The Rees Foundation aims to increase the sustainable prosperity of the North East through the promotion of engineering and manufacturing, the improvement of education and skills and training in STEM subjects, and the development of employment opportunities in these areas. In her role, Anne advocates and promotes engineering-related subjects in education, and like the college, is very passionate about the skills development and the encouragement of the engineering needs of the future. Please welcome Anne to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. I have to say I'm extremely daunted standing here in front of all you people, especially in front of all you new graduates. For some reason, I was under the impression that I was going to be standing in front of about 25 or 30 people. I hadn't realised exactly the scope of the University Centre at Newcastle College, and I must say I'm amazed and I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled to see how successful it is and to see you all here. Also, I worked here when I first graduated, here in the Civic Centre up there, so this is extra super daunting for me to be back. But it's a thrill. It's a particular thrill to be with all you clever guys celebrating with you today. It really is, and also a great honour. Many, many congratulations to all you new graduates and to all the family and friends who've supported you throughout your studies. It's very daunting to have a look at all you very, very young people sitting there. And I can remember many, many years ago when I was sitting down there and waiting to stand up at my university and go and get to my degree. But it seems so long ago, to quote Bob Dylan, who I'm hoping to see tomorrow in London, I was so long ago I wasn't even born. It was a different world. But what I do remember when I was sitting there where you guys are, is I was thinking, I am never, never, never going to do an exam again. I am never going to be assessed in anything. So for all of you who have gone through that particular hell in the last few weeks and few months, very, very well done for coming out the other side and for being a success. Sit down, enjoy today, enjoy being with your families, enjoy the evening, enjoy the celebration for as long as you can until real life gets in the way again. You deserve it. One sobering thought for you young folks: you'll be extremely lucky if you do manage to get through the rest of your life without having to take another exam or another assessment. You're all headed for professional careers now because you're graduates. That's where you're going. And in today's world, that means more training, more continuous professional development, more assessment. Because in all things, but most particularly in the management and the science and the engineering that you're qualified in, new developments happen continuously. And to be part of that game, it's necessary to keep improving, keep learning, and keep moving. But anyway, let's not think about that right now. Let's just celebrate this achievement. And why am I so particularly delighted to be standing here in front of you, a particular group of graduates? Well, you can probably guess from the introduction as to what my foundation does. That's one reason. But the other reason is that you are the folks, you are the guys and gals that, not alone, but with some other folks, I'm sure, are going to both transform and save our world. And along the way, I think you're going to help this little bit of the world as well, where we're all based, the northeast of England. This is the part of the world I came from and I'm rooted to, and to which I hope you will all feel some strong attachment, either because you too were born and bred here, or because you came and studied here and grew some attachment to the place. This is what happened to my father, Alan Rees, when he came to study here just after the Second World War. He was a Cockney. His father was in the army and he was based in the centre of London, but Alan really wanted to be an engineer, and he managed to gain a place at the end of the war at King's College, Durham University, which what later became Newcastle University. While studying there, he came to love Newcastle. Why not? As we've just heard, it's a region rooted in innovation and engineering. We had the first electric lights, we had the first hydroelectric power, we had Lucasade, right? Just to mention three, right? He loved Geordies, in particular, a fellow student with red hair who later became my mother. He came to love the Northumbrian countryside, and he came to love engineering in general and big machinery in particular. After gaining his degree from Newcastle, he went to work as a graduate apprentice at Vickers Armstrong, then based on Scotswood Road, making tanks and engineer vehicles after the war. This was just after the end of the war. Demand for those vehicles was slowing down, so he wasn't there very long. But whilst he was there, he realised what he hadn't learned at university. He realised what knowledge lay in the minds and hands of the time-served craftsmen that he worked with at Vickers, and he developed a lifelong deep admiration and respect for the skills of Geordie workmen, none of whom had been to a university. And he learned a strong belief that there was much more knowledge that is taught not in the classroom. However, we won't go into that. After completing his apprenticeship, he joined Ford Motor Cars at Dagenham, London, as a management apprentice, management trainee. But not long after this, his lack of respect for authority and his communist beliefs brought him into conflict with the Ford management structure. And he soon found himself on the way north again, ending up in Doncaster, working at International Harvester, developing tractors and farming implements. This he loved. He developed new and better tractors, new and better ploughs. He wanted to continue the research in this, so he joined Newcastle University again as both a researcher and a teacher in the Department of Agricultural Engineering. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you all this. Right. Because Alan Rees went on to maybe not transform the world on the region, but certainly change it and influence a lot of people here in the region as a whole. His company, SMD, Soil Machine Dynamics, which he started whilst at the university, but developed full-time from 1985, when he was already 57, grew in 20 years to be a company of over £100 million turnover, directly employing 400 people, indirectly employing 1,000, and leading to the establishment of subsea engineering industry on Tyneside and the region, which now employs 2, 3, 4, 5 times as many people. It also enabled the development of oil pipelines from the North Sea and other underwater oil fields, and helped transform transatlantic and global communications with the protection of subsea fibre optic cables. Without that, there would be no Netflix. There would be no fast internet. Neither of these could have been envisaged when he started the company. Nobody knew then about Netflix and Amazon. In fact, nobody knew what the fledgling World Wide Web was going to bring to us all in 1985. Or did they know, less happily, that the burning of the oil that went through the pipelines from the North Sea would lead to the accumulation of greenhouse gases, which now comes to threaten our very existence on this planet? Alan achieved all that he achieved because he was an engineer. His job, his calling, his training, all was to seek out problems and challenges in the world and seek ways to solve them. Today's world has many challenges, including some caused by the preceding generations, like the burning of oil and coal. Engineers may have helped cause some of these problems, but it's going to be engineers, scientists, and managers like you that's going to solve them. And in doing so, you're going to do a load of things that at the moment you just cannot envisage. The technology which helped the oil flow through the pipelines now helps establish the offshore wind farms. Alan's inventions helped change the world in ways unforeseen, just as he could not have foreseen himself as the wealthy business capitalist that he became when he was the young communist firebrand down at Ford's in London. Nowadays, Alan's company is the Rees Group, based, guess where? In the Armstrong Works in Scotswood Road. Some of the wealth generated by Alan's work is now being put back through the Rees Foundation, which I lead, and as we have already heard, we're dedicated to promoting engineering and manufacturing skills and the industries in the region because we believe that way prosperity lies. So, in conclusion, young people, I don't know where your knowledge, degrees, inspiration, labour and hard work is going to lead you. And you know what? Neither do you. But what I do know is that the world needs people like you. Highly trained, highly motivated managers, scientists and engineers. We need you. The Northeast needs you. The Northeast needs more jobs, it needs more technology, it needs hope for its children, it needs more prosperity. And you are going to help do that. And you are going to help save the world, even if you don't know it at the moment. So that's why I'm totally delighted to be here helping you celebrate. I hope you have a great time tonight and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Anne, for those words of inspiration. I'd now like to invite our Director of Higher Education, Nikki Turnbull, to the stage to address you.
I'm not sure I can follow that either. That was tremendous, Anne. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be with you today as students from aviation, engineering and science prepare to graduate. I am proud to be addressing you here on such an important and significant day, which marks the end of an era for you all. Years of hard work and determination, reading books, writing reports, attending all your classes has paid off and led to this moment right here. Though you may be excited or nervous, awaiting a new adventure, it is important that you take a moment to reflect and appreciate your accomplishment. Today, you all share in this achievement. Newcastle College University Centre prides itself on providing vocational higher education, which has given you the skills and knowledge you need to make a difference in your industry. Our courses are designed by employers and lecturers together to provide skills that are really valued, and many of you have already secured full-time employment or placements through these strong links with industry, together with your own hard work. I do ask one thing of our graduates today. When you are established in your new posts, please remember us. And perhaps you can provide opportunities for our future students. Perhaps you will be the work placement provider, the work-based assessor, or even the guest speaker of the future. Today is a day to celebrate successes, and some students here today have won awards for their academic excellence or for their vocational skills, and you'll find these listed in the programmes. All of you have individual stories to tell of achievement and success during your studies, which are personal to you. Our aviation students have worked exceptionally hard, always aiming for perfection and overcoming some major challenges which have been thrown at them. Many are embarking onto bright careers within the aviation world, whilst others are continuing their studies next year. This year, we have seen 40% more students on our engineering degrees than the previous year, and amongst them, some very high-performing students with outstanding academic achievements. Dissertations have focused on everything from improving safe working practices to the development of a battery management system, and 6 of our students have been published in our 7 Bridges journal. Our science graduates have worked as a close-knit group to achieve throughout the past year, with many having been with us since level 3. They have balanced their studies with all of the things that life throws at us, including working full-time in industry, resulting in some fantastic dissertations and examples of exceptional personal growth and development. Most of you have juggled your coursework alongside work commitments and family life, and some of you have overcome many difficulties to be here. On behalf of all graduating students today, I would like to thank parents, partners, families and friends who have encouraged and supported you as you have worked towards this day. I would also like to acknowledge the dedication of the lecturing staff who have managed and supported your teaching and learning whilst you have been at the University Centre. We are all extremely proud of you today. Please join me in applauding all of these people who have helped you in your achievement. Thank you. Thank you. So graduates, look around and remember this moment and be very, very proud. On behalf of the staff of Newcastle College University Centre, I wish you every success, and I am confident that your time as students will have given you the skills, knowledge and confidence to get what you want from your career and from your life. We will now begin the conferment of awards, and I would like to ask Tony Lewin, Principal of Newcastle College, and Chris Payne, Interim Chief Executive of NCG, to join me on stage. Thank you. BA Hons Airline and Airport Management, Kiva Cooper. Student of the Year, Chantel Inwood. Zara Islam. Miriam Karm Niazi. Rebecca Ramsey. Chloe Tian Smith. Marie Francesca Stanley. Jonathan Allen Taylor. Foundation degree, Airline and Airport Management. Adam Paul Armstrong. Lavinia Kalin. Olivia May Dawkins. Billy Jobson. Olivia Norton Ogilvie. Connor Robinson. Nicola Teresa Michelle Smart. Sam William Tate. Foundation degree in Aeronautical Engineering. Thomas Edward Antcliffe. Daniel Jonathan Brady. Martin Patrick Cordes. Alexander Ayrton Cruz. Luke Allen Derbyshire. Caleb Tony Mason Harrison. Adam Mark Huchin. Matthew Robert Moore. Alan Paul Palmer. Harry James Patterson. Jack Peverley. Dylan J. Said. And our Student of the Year, Sean Stevenson. Owen Turbett. Jake Turner. BEng Electrical Electronic Engineering. Summer Barmer. Cameron Jack Beattie. Dean Champney. Michael Thomas Cottrell. Andrew Cooper. Colin Paul Cuthbert. Marcus John Donnelly. Joseph Duda. Matthew Thomas Eltringham. Matthew Charles Gibbard. Matthew Elliott Gibson. Stuart Matthew Gunn. Charlie Harvey. George Anthony Headley. Ben Huskisson. Ivan James Glenn. Taryn Ridley Kine. Nathan Lang. James Lawson. Thomas Edward Manley. Jim Meng. Stephen Orife. Lisa Marie Robson. Damien John Sumner. Morgan William Sweet. Oh, apologies, sorry. Apologies, stay there. Sorry, my fault. Callum Halliday Thornton. Aaron Carr Wong. BEng Honours Mechanical Manufacturing Engineering. James Joseph Baker. Simon Beeler. Morgan William Sweet. Which one did we do? Got lost. Sorry. Jordan Graham Bloxham. Rhys Cameron. Cameron Campbell Lamb. William Russell Douglas. Charlotte Ann Dunn. Josh Galea Hughes. Lee Paul Glasgow. Kieran Harbison. Cameron Hutchinson. Michael James Hetherington. Lewis Perry Morgan. Jamie Oliver. Connor James O'Sullivan. Michael Christopher Robinson. Daniel Ryan. James Sayers. David Stevenson. Neil Darren Taylor. Corey Thompson. Joel Galang Velasco Jr. Thomas Jacob Wilkinson. BSc Honours Engineering Management. Stephen Alexander. Corrie Louise Bewley. Jack Burden. Cameron Lee Ferguson. Student of the Year, Liam Fitzgerald. Michael Harrison. Michael Lee Cassells Ritchie. Foundation degree, Electrical Electronic Engineering. Robert Allen. Harry Allen Carver. Ryan Joseph Coburn. Rhys John Dorwood. Kane Robert Headley. Robbie May. Jamie Mark Oman Walton. Matthew Oram. Mark Robson. Cameron Smith. Joseph James Wallace. Alexander Whitehouse. Foundation degree, Mechanical Manufacturing Engineering. Daniel Arkle. Mark David Ford. John Netherton. Nathan Malloy. Robert Elliott Miller. Melissa Moody. Sean James Page. James Sweet. Jonathan Mark Sudder. Arpit Tandon. Daniel James Townsend. Foundation degree, Renewable Energies Technologies. Danny Lee Aviles. Jack William Dixon. Student of the Year, Stephen Thomas Douglas. Rafaela Godino. Dylan Hill. Finbar Matthew McFall. Ross Patterson. Daniel John Topping. BSc Honours Applied Science Analytical Chemistry. Hamida Khan. Roy Lamb. Amber Nixon. Ross John Taylor. Okay. That concludes the awards from Aviation, Engineering and Science. I would now like to introduce our final speaker of today, Thomas Manley, who will be speaking on behalf of all of today's graduates. Thomas has today completed his degree in electrical and electronic engineering alongside his job as an electrical test technician at Siemens. Earlier this year, Thomas undertook research into the effects of electric cars on the national grid as part of the British Conference of Undergraduate Research. He was then invited to present this research to MPs and higher education policymakers in Westminster as part of its Posters in Parliament exhibition. Please welcome Thomas to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. It is such an honour to deliver this year's student vote of thanks. All of us are born with a set of instinctive fears, of falling, of the dark, of lobsters, of falling on lobsters in the dark, or speaking before the graduating class of 2019. When I was initially asked to give this speech, I thought, of course, it'll be a doddle, a great achievement and opportunity. But as I was sat this weekend recovering from my brother's stag do with no voice at 4 a.m, it was a very, very different story. However, I'm forever grateful for Manuka honey and strepsils and, of course, this opportunity. Now, I could stand in front of you all today and make you laugh and inspire you, but the fact is, I'm not very funny and I'm not very inspirational. But what I can do is look back in the last 3 years and talk about where it all went so right and sometimes so wrong. 3 years ago, many of us enrolled onto what was a very daunting and unknown path, a path that would teach us more about ourselves than we ever imagined, Whether it was the unbeknownst laziness, the crazy desire to stay up until 5 a.m. doing work, or that a diet of Red Bull and pot noodles doesn't particularly agree with our bodies. But we also learned a lot academically as well. Hopefully, many of you can agree that we have more of this now than we will in the future. Discipline, motivation, courage, and hair. My time at Newcastle College has not only inspired me to complete assignments and exams, but to venture further into that unknown. There was a time where I thought to steal ideas from one person is plagiarism, and to steal from many is research. But as I stand here reading from this speech, I can confidently say the research that went into this was tiring. Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." And while we leave here today with academic degrees, for all of us, this is not the end, and rather the start of a journey that will determine who we are and what our destiny is. What if for one day, worry, fear, doubt, anxiety suddenly disappeared from your life? What would you do that you've dreamt of doing but been too afraid to do? We should leave today with a motivation and drive to give us opportunities, such as reinventing the light bulb, redesigning the car, or influencing the nation. And you might say that this is not realistic, but I think that being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. In a world where we're controlling robots on Mars and sending 100,000 metal boxes soaring above the clouds every single day, it's no longer wise to be realistic with your dreams. If your dream doesn't scare you, then it's probably not big enough. Dream big. For me to be standing in front of you all today is not realistic. Not when I look back at my school reports, which said, "The wheel is turning, but the hamster is definitely dead." This only enforces how much we can adapt, progress, and learn to become whoever we want. I'd like to think the hamster is alive now. The college gave me the opportunity of a second chance. While a young, naive me struggled with focus and distractions, the college gave me a platform to rethink my future. And it did this for every single one of you sat over there. I was given opportunities such as speaking at Parliament, representing the class as an ambassador, and making lifelong friends along the way. I advise you to follow your passion, stay true to yourself, and never follow someone else's path. Unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path, and by all means you should follow that one. I'd like to say thank you to all the teaching staff who tirelessly support and go above and beyond to help educate and inspire us, without whom none of this would have been possible. Thank you to every family member and friend who is here today on behalf of myself and my fellow students. You are no doubt extremely proud of us, and I can't imagine the sense of relief you are experiencing. This would be a most opportune time for us to ask for money. Your support really can make all the difference, whether we needed an extra hour of quiet time to complete an assignment, a cup of tea at the right time, or just a simple, "get your work done." All of it matters. So thank you for believing in us when we may not have believed in ourselves. As Henry Ford boldly claimed, whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right. And this reminds me of a time I spent in Thailand visiting an elephant sanctuary. These huge, magnificent beasts standing proud. And by their ankle was a small, tiny bit of string keeping them tied. And I thought, surely this could not hold down the elephants. So I asked the man, what's the purpose? And he said, when the elephants are young, the string is enough to hold them. As they grow up, they're conditioned to believe that they cannot break away, despite easily being able to. Like the elephants, how many of us go through life believing that we cannot do something because we failed once, or maybe now too old? The advice that I give to you and to myself today is to leave here with a belief that the skills we've learned and the experiences we've had at Newcastle College University Centre means that we can do whatever it is we want to do. Don't be afraid of failure, and most importantly, always believe in yourself. Let the hard work, determination, and resilience from the past 3 years be a testament to the story each of your lives will tell, and be a reflection of the tireless work put in behind the scenes by the Newcastle College staff. So, can you put your hands together for the planning coordinators, the lecturers, the librarians, academic and IT support, the catering staff, security, the cleaners, and every single person that has made the last 3 years for us possible. And finally, can you put your hands together again for all the late nights, for all the stressful deadlines, for all the tests, and for all the challenges that every single one of us have overcame. Never forget how important you are. I wish you all a successful future.
Thank you, Thomas. What did I say about future leaders of tomorrow? We've just seen one on platform right there now. That's fantastic. What a great speech. Ladies, gentlemen and graduates, that concludes the ceremony. We invite you to enjoy refreshments, Prosecco and strawberries, which will be served in the reception area and on the first floor. Please be upstanding as your platform party departs.